Under its insistent glare, Svalbard is melting. Glaciers cover 60% of the islands, and drips quickly become torrents, cascading off icy cliffs and out to the sea. In the newly navigable waters, telltale snorts announce the presence of Svalbard's other giant, the walrus. Spring finds these mighty creatures contentedly packing themselves onto ice floes for some lazy sunbathing. Their tough skin flushes pink as blood rushes to the surface to cool. Stiff, sensitive whiskers help them snuff out clams on the sea floor. Explorers in the 1600s found Svalbard's beaches covered with thousands of these great beasts each spring. Overhunting brought their numbers down to just 100 by 1952. Now protected, walruses roam these waters unmolested, except by killer whales and that other great leviathan of the Arctic seas, the polar bear. The cubs won't be tangling with any walrus for years, if they know what's good for them. Their mother has brought them out to the slushy ledge of retreating sea ice, where their lair crashing skills can be honed rather than frustrated. She demonstrates the finer points of amphibious assault from above and below the ice, much to the delight of the cubs. Of course, all of these games develop the hunting skills and instincts that the bears need to survive. But it's impossible to watch this rowdy family tableau without feeling that bears have a sense of fun, and that even Mom has a mischievous side. Just so the cubs don't forget who's in charge, she engages one in mock battle. She rolls in the snow, a polar bear's way of drying off. The cubs are reluctant to abandon the game, now that they've got the hang of it. But their mother has worked up an appetite. She catches a scent, a freshly killed seal, its owner sleeping off his meal a few hundred yards away. A trick of the wind brings her the scent of food, but not of the hunter stirring nearby. No sooner does the family reach the carcass than she realizes her mistake and abandons the meal. The cubs may not appreciate her urgency, but male bears have killed females, mothers who almost certainly died in defense of their cubs. Fortunately, he's too full to muster more than a half-hearted threat. He will soon prove more dangerous to Svalbard's other inhabitants. It's now July. The brilliant, if brief, weeks of high summer have arrived. Svalbard cloaks itself in lush colors, hardly recognizable as the cold coast. The island's reindeer sport impressive new headgear and shed of their winter coats, a slimmer profile. With a single-minded purpose born of generations of lean winters, they vacuum up purple blossoms, oblivious to the many birds now nesting along this shore. Huddling nervously where careless hooves might fall, a well-camouflaged eider duck covers her nest. Her newly hatched brood are at their most vulnerable now, in the hours before their down dries enough to keep them afloat at sea. Still wet, they might drown. But there are worse threats than wet feathers and nearsighted deer. The appearance of the male bear on their beach means he is stranded and hungry. Most bears have headed north with the retreating pack ice, where they can hunt seals through the summer. But this one, left behind, will settle for any small mouthful now. An Arctic tern mounts a spirited and surprisingly effective defense of her nest, dive-bombing the bear's sensitive nose. The eider duck nervously eyes his approach. Her young may not be completely dry. Wet feathers or no, they will have to take their chances on the sea. Another duck abandons her nest. Her brood are still unhatched. While she looks helplessly on, the bear makes short work of the tiny mouthfuls. The duck makes a last check of the ruins of her nest. This year's clutch